Well, believe it or not, this is the maiden voyage for the ASPCA Raptor. It's been sitting for, geez, like probably coming up on 2 years here, maybe even more. This was the quad. It was the electrical nightmare. It was literally sinking into the ground, abandoned, and it was given to me by a subscriber. We did a full restoration. We've got some light mods done to it. I've got a high compression piston in there, I think it's a stage 2 hot cam, and it is windy today, guys, so I apologize. I'll try to keep my hands over the microphone as much as I can. Man, let me wait till this wind passes here. I think there's stage 2 cams in there, heavy duty valve springs, and for whatever reason, it's just been really hard to get this thing to reliably turn over and start every time. Once it's running, it seems to be fine, but you know, something has to be reliable for starting. So what I ended up doing is putting a 24-volt starting system in here. We've got a lithium ion here, and then a second lithium ion here, the anti-gravity battery, and essentially the whole system, and the quad still only sees 12 volts, but the starter gets 24 volts when you press the button. I'm not going to go too much into explaining how that works, but it gives the starter a big jolt of energy, and it seems to start pretty good now. I think also those valve springs probably need to be broken in a little bit. So enough talking, let's see if she fires up. It's pretty chilly today. It's probably maybe 42 degrees. We'll put the choke on just a little bit and we'll see if she fires up. Oh, there it goes. What I found is that if you put it in gear and bump it back and forth, it'll get it out of that compression stroke, and then it'll turn it over. But for the most part, it's been working. There we go. Let her warm up for a second here. Right now we have the quiet core in there. It sounds pretty tame with that. When you take it out, it gets super loud. That's that Lex exhaust. Came from Rocky Mountain ATV, and the header is aftermarket as well. That was on the quad. I don't know what brand it is, but it is not stock. And of course, we've got the bead locks on the back. Those are GPS bead locks. The DWT wheels in the front, and then we've got the Kenda Havocs front and rear. Those are really nice aggressive tires. I haven't really had too much time on them. I had them on a 400EX that I ran for a little bit. They're pretty good tires. In the front, we've got custom extended A-arms made by Full Flight. Lariat Full Flight custom made these. They take the YFC 450R shocks, and then I had them valved and rebuilt by Rocket Ron. They're all set up for me. The rear shock as well is a dual rate spring built by Rocket Ron Racing. Should be pretty plush. And we'll just kind of putz around here because, you know, this is really the first real ride. It's the first we'll really be pushing the engine. And we'll just kind of, I'm going to try to probably just drive around, get used to it, and then we'll see if we can do some fast laps with it. If it's still running, you know. Feels pretty good. This lever, I can see we need to tighten up. I'm gonna go do that really quick. It's moving around on me. It feels like it's running pretty good though. That's Sarah. I come out here and she's just out there on her laptop sometimes. I have no idea who she is. So my hope here really is that just breaking it in and getting some run time on the engine, because it's still brand new. It hasn't had any break-in time, will alleviate that sticking compression thing that it does, because after this I will be selling it, and I don't really want to sell something that has some sort of, you know, lingering issue like that but you know, hopefully this will fix it. Okay, that should be good. All right, let's go. Bad, man. It is a big, heavy machine, though. It's got really good bottom end, and it pulls pretty good on the top too. Like, you can kind of lug it and it pulls out. Let's try. I think we're in like third gear. Yeah, dude, it has great torque. Let's put it in fourth. Not bad. Want to ride? Whew. It feels pretty good.
It does sound big, and it looks big.
You know how to use a clutch?
Can you tell me what I tell you?
You have to let it out slow.
Okay.
All right, let's see if you got the magic touch.
What do I do?
Start button is right here.
What do I do?
Just press it.
With the clutch down.
You can do with or without the clutch. Got it. It's got the magic touch. Don't worry about the smoke. That's just water burning off. Doing pretty good. It's not the easiest quad to ride, and in the sand too. All right, let's take this exhaust core out of here and let this thing breathe. Put it in race mode. Yeah, this thing makes it real quiet. I think it's possible that this yellow battery literally just got smoked, or maybe it was bad from the factory. That's kind of what I'm hoping, but it smokes anytime. Even when it's off, it was smoking. I don't know what the deal is with it. So I'm going to try to just run off of the anti-gravity battery. If we can just get it to turn over, then at least we can get a little bit more riding in. We got to hear it with that quiet core out of there. All right, let's see if it smokes. I'll take what I can get. Sounds like a helicopter.
That loud?
Yeah. Wait till I get on it. It's like, is it going faster or is it just going louder? Probably the latter. Man, that torque. I'm still not comfortable on it. Runs good once it's running, I'll tell you that much. It's a beast of a machine though, like really you got to use a lot of body language with it. I don't know if it's just because it's a heavy machine, and as soon as you start hitting the whoops and stuff, it's like it's a real workout. Yeah, too bad you don't know how to ride clutch. Let's lug it. You can lug it all the way through those corners and it like powers right through. So much torque. It sounds like a helicopter down low. Watch this. It just pulls straight through. Unbelievable how much low end torque it has. I think that now that I'm getting used to it a little bit, you could be pretty fast on this. It does feel like it's just a matter of figuring out how to ride it. Do that. Well, is it a victory or is it a failure? I don't know. I think that the engine is actually really good minus the starting system. There's clearly something is still weird with that. I don't know if I just have to bite the bullet and take the aftermarket cams out or what, but it certainly does run well when it's running. It's actually a very fun quad. It's just very big and heavy.
For years now, we've been serving the public with certified Ask Dyno technician advice. With a machine as sophisticated as the ASPCA with the Raptor, we would expect no less. Let's look into it. Now, after a deep, detailed analysis, we determined that this quad does not start. So therefore, straight out of the gate, it's got no power. And as soon as it doesn't start, it still has no power all the way through the entire curve. Right here, it starts to get a little bit crazy, and then basically just stays exactly the same all the way to 9,000 RPMs. But when it does start, we've got an insane amount of torque down low. And I would say power probably comes on pretty low and gets up there pretty quick. And realistically speaking, I would say this quad probably is pushing the 50 horsepower mark. You got to remember, this quad is really heavy, and we're riding in sand, and it's boogieing pretty good. I really do think we're probably just over the 50 horsepower mark, and what makes this thing so remarkable and so ASPCA-like is the fact that the power curve just seems to carry so freaking long, and it's got decent over rev too. You know, I've had Raptor 660s before, and I remember they were always torquey, but I don't remember them revving out quite as quickly or having any over rev. You kind of, especially in the sand, like they wouldn't bog out, but sometimes the RPMs just they wouldn't go up. It's like you would just get stuck. It didn't have enough power. But now this, with the ASPCA, it just keeps on going, and the over rev is real good, and then kind of just dies out like that. I would say that's probably what the power curve looks like, but the torque is where it's like this, and it's probably something like that for the torque curve. It's unbelievable, and it'll absolutely blow your balls off when you ride it when it starts. For all the times that it doesn't start, you'll realize why you hate this quad so much, but that's not my problem, and that's your official Ask Dyno.
I'd say success.